At this point, we've imported 9 suites of tests from 2 test frameworks, and we've marked one of those tests as a must-run test. Now we need to add those tests to the release, and we do this by creating a run adaptive testing task and a phase. So let's go back to the release for this application. Now in the CI phase of this release, we already have a run adaptive testing task that we created for the web backend application. So we need to create a similar task for the test we just imported for the web frontend application. To do that, we click Create a Task in the CI phase. In the task name field, we'll call this task Run Test Web Frontend. And this task is for the web frontend application, so we'll select that application in the Applications field. And by default, the Builds for Applications field is populated with the web frontend last successful change token, which is exactly what we want, so we'll leave that as it is. We can enter a brief description for the task, maybe something like runs adaptive test for web frontend. We don't need any additional owners for this task, so we'll leave the owners field blank. Now the task type field determines what kind of task this is and the action that it will perform. So we'll select Run Adaptive Testing. And when we imported these tests, we tagged the imported robot test as robot all and the cucumber test as cucumber Ruby all. So we need to add those same tags here. And in the build commit ID field, we need to add the web frontend last successful change token. And then the last option here is the run a subset of test suites selected by the test advisor checkbox. Because we haven't run these tests yet, we're going to leave this checkbox unselected. And that's because the first time we run these tests, we want to ensure that all of the tests run so the appropriate mapping can be done for future executions. We are going to change that later, but for now we'll leave it unselected. We're also going to accept the default selection for the on task failure section. And this option is going to run an on failure phase if one is found. If one isn't found, the task waits for manual intervention. So we're ready to click Create. And we can see that our task has been created. And one last thing we'll do here is to drag this task up with the other web frontend tasks so that it runs after the application is deployed and the deployment message is sent. And this task can now run our imported tests directly from this phase each time the phase is run.